everyone, and welcome to another month, a beautiful month of May. We reached the month of May here in All Elite with Keeks. This is my year anniversary month of All Elite with Keeks. So, welcome to the show. I have my husband, my work husband, on the other side of me, returning because y'all asked for him a lot. We have Drip here. Yes, y'all do.
No, I don't. No one
You
ever
do
asked
ask
for
for
me.
him. Hey, Sean. Y'all do ask for him a lot, so he's here.
What's up? It's Davis, aka Drip, as you know.
You just. Hey, Sean. Hey, welcome everybody in the chat. I know the draft is on. Met Gala. We got the game going on. So y'all make sure y'all keep me updated in the chat what's going on. I know the WWE draft is still going on. Like I said, you have Met Gala. Everybody's looking at the attire. Bad Bunny is there at Met Gala right now. And then you got the game, round one. Currently, I believe the 76ers and the Celtics are playing right now. So you got a lot going on today.
And Warriors went to the next level.
We have a Warriors fan in the background.
Wait a minute. How?
She likes Steph Curry.
And Pooh. And Draymond.
You can't root for all these teams when you have teams in your state. Like, you can't root for the Eagles and then root for the Warriors. Is that it?
I just be trying.
And you all call yourself proud Texans.
Down at Lakers in 4.
Oh, Lakers going home in 4. Yeah, you right. Yeah, you about right.
Listen, they underestimating the mess out of D'Angelo Russell right now. D'Angelo Russell is finally playing like Kobe has always wanted him to play. And then you got a healthy LeBron right now that's on defense like crazy. You have AD that's been doing what we've been wanting to see him without being injury prone. He's kind of playing like he was when he was with the Hornets a little bit.
Pelicans.
You got your brother. What's the name?
Who?
You said that was your boy, Reeves.
Dang, we just lost Austin Reeves.
We lost Davis, y'all.
Did he go down? He got hurt?
Come back here, folks, so we get started. This is your type of topic anyway. He been ready to talk about this anyway. So we got a lot going on. We are the yes. They did like the story. Kenny always openly said that he did like the Bloodline storyline. He always liked the storyline. Now it's just everybody's sick of it at this point. But we're gonna get started today. This is we back to business. Last week we had fun doing fantasy booking, my Forbidden Door event. It's gonna be another pay-per-view in the next couple of months, so it'll be a part 2 to the Keeks Forbidden Door Mania. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna have Dynamite review, Rampage, Women Bidness. We're going to get into the topic and then our wrestlers of the week and, of course, the Goofy of the week. What is this Eagles talk in the chat? Yeah, man, the commissioner need to do something about them trying to, all that for Mahomes, all that to stop Mahomes is crazy. All of that to try to stop him. That's crazy. Mahomes should look at that like, maybe I am the best quarterback in the league right now.
He is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Got to get a super team to stop him. That's crazy. But here we are. All right. So Dynamite popped off. We had Orange Cassidy versus Bandito. It was the opener. Orange Cassidy with another AEW opener. Fun match. I love Orange Cassidy being paired with luchadors. I love when he wrestles against luchadors. It's very fun to see. He's a great wrestler, a fighting champion. Drip, this is your favorite, so I will let you have the floor on what you thought of this match between him and Bandito.
Well, everyone knows, like, and I am a huge Orange Cassidy fan. And if you've watched him over the last 2 years, really, but last year is when he took that extra step to be the go-to guy with any wrestler like he's paired with. Whoever wants a great match in AEW, you have to have it with Orange Cassidy. Will Ospreay showed up, had his match with Orange Cassidy. Bandito, who hasn't had a match in a while, has a match with Orange Cassidy. Berluccio had his best showing as a single star with Orange Cassidy a few weeks ago. So him being the international champion now and kind of doing what the TNT title was supposed to be with these open challenges and weekly title defenses, like, it might not add stakes in terms of a story, but it adds the prize fighting mentality of what a title should be, and a guy on all challengers. And like you said, Orange Cassidy can face luchadors, he can face power wrestlers, he can face guys like Buddy Murphy, who are the hybrid between speed and power, just like Bandito is as well. Like, Bandito got to show his strength with like the one arm press that he's known for, but then he's able to do his lucha submission style that he's been trained in. And I wish we can see more of Bandito, and we will. We'll get to that a little bit later, but again, Orange Cassidy's wrestling with a taped fist because they're working that story of like his fist is still injured from weeks prior with the House of Black and everything going on there. And at the end, Orange Cassidy and him, they're buddies. He put his sunglasses on him like he did with Shibata, and now if like that's a trio in itself one day, Orange Cassidy and the people he gives the sunglasses to, you'd get Shibata, Bandito, and like, no offense to the best friends, but maybe that's the trio that Orange Cassidy will win gold with: Shibata, Bandito, and himself.
Oh my God! Why did you diss the best friends like this?
I like the best friends, and when they have their moment, it'll be huge when they finally win the trios titles. But like Shibata, Bandito, like Orange Cassidy's like, I got to put a super team to win the trios titles. I can't win it with Harrison Barnes and Sean Livingston. I need Banks.
Banks, go to hell. Go to.
He's like, I need KD. I need this person. Like, come on.
Banks get on my nerves. Ebony, I forget him. I agree with everything that you've said. I'm glad that Bandito did the submission, because luchadors is more than just flips. They can be technical and they can do submissions. Lucha Libre type of submissions is so different than what you're used to seeing. Like, one wrong move, you can break something. Penta is actually another luchador that's really good at doing submissions. He does it a lot when he's in AAA. He does it from time to time when he's in AEW, but he only does it. He brings it out more when he's a heel. So hopefully one day when we really get a heel Lucha Brothers, we'll see more of Lucha style submissions. Fabi Apache is another one that does submissions a lot as well. So yes, the real's back. Hey, Christopher McLean. See, I told you, real people was asking for you back.
And I think about the submission style too. Is like the reason they don't translate that from Mexico to the States is because the opponents they face aren't as equipped to go with those maneuvers.
Mm-hmm.
So like the reason he did it with Orange Cassidy is because Orange Cassidy's kind of trained in lucha. He's trained in chain wrestling. Bandito did it when he faced Bryan Danielson in that match. Like, because Bryan Danielson is, again, the best technical wrestler in the world and can like bend to those maneuvers. Like, Bandito has faced Brian Cage in Mexico, but like Brian Cage isn't going to be locked up in those holds. He's too bulky and too muscular to bend and be contorted. So I think that's the thing where like they over rely on the flippiness and the flashiness of their style. Like you said, Penta as well. Like, these guys can probably chain grapple with the best of Zack Sabre Jr. and whoever else. But when you're facing someone who isn't as equipped, or like a Wardlow who is, 2 times your size, you can't just lock them into these submission holds, and it's
unless you Black Tyrus.
Yeah, I'm saying the point is that they're facing from the States. Okay. No, the ones in Mexico know how to wrestle the style with each other, but when they have to face someone who isn't equipped to face their style, that's when they over rely on springboards and dives and the strikes and all of it.
Yeah. So had a heart. I almost burped, but I had a heartburn. That hurt.
But then they say this was Orange Cassidy's 18th straight win as well, and he's now had the most successful title defenses as a champion, or I might have to double check that, but it makes sense based on how he won that international title and hasn't looked back since.
Yeah, he's had more matches and also more win so far in 2023 as a champion. So yeah, but we will get to what we really want to talk about in depth into that topic later on in this episode. After that, we're gonna move forward. We had Dex Harwood versus Jeff Jarrett, or y'all know him as FTR Ball versus Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett took the win. Great call. It looks like Jeff Jarrett was the best worker in this match. FTR Ball botched it. He botched like simple shit in this match. Jeff Jarrett is Jeff Jarrett. So, you know, Jeff Jarrett's for the hoes, Bree Who for the hoes. Play it, Graham. Play it. Play the Bree Who. Everybody watch this match, Banks.
This match was a nightmare for me. Like, you have old as fuck Jeff Jarrett, and you have Dax Harwood, who again thinks he's a singles wrestler because he watched Bret Hart matches, and like I can do that shit too. Like, again, like you said, they didn't seem like they have chemistry, and this is probably like a huge thing for Dax Harwood to face a Memphis wrestling legend like Jeff Jarrett. So like, I imagine like this match is filled with so many callbacks to matches from fucking USWA or whatever that I don't give a fuck about, because these guys harp on the old school and when it was better, which sounds like what people used to say about some other things, but we'll get to that later when it comes to Dax Harwood and some shit. That doesn't, his type of tone doesn't strike me, doesn't, you know, as a guy who likes, never mind. But either way, Dax Harwood, he's not a single star. We'll get to when we talk about Rampage and Cash Wheeler, but these guys aren't singles wrestlers. Like,
that's why they're a tag team.
And they can trick each other. I mean, well, they can trick the fans by wrestling each other, and you know, Dax Harwood wrestling CM Punk one-on-one. But again, that's, even though this is washed Washington Wizards CM Punk, he's still CM Punk at times. He can still like dial it back to 2008, you know, 2012 and break out some stuff. But again, it's Dax Harwood trying to be Arn Anderson. You're no fucking Arn Anderson. Come on. Or whoever else he wants to be on this given day. It's and then Jeff Jarrett holds the one tag title after. Like, it's this whole story. Like, and now the AEW tag team picture is in shambles after what they did with the guns and then FTR. But we might talk to that once we talk about Rampage.
Shambles. It's in the hands of what the people. The FTR hate is only online, so it's in the right hands so far.
So do you want to have that conversation now then?
Yeah, the FTR hate is only online. It's not.
Oh yeah, it's just like the Cody hate thing of like people wishing for his downfall, but like when he walks out, he still gets the biggest pop of anyone that isn't Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. But like, you see the damage they've done to that tag division. Again, look at the Acclaim treading water because they had those titles taken from them just because FTR didn't want to beat the Acclaimed and get that heat of being the ones to take the belts from the Acclaim. So they take them off the Guns, and the Guns were just placeholders for no fucking reason except like FTR when they were throwing their fit of like, well, you haven't been using us correctly these last 2 years, so we're gonna stomp our feet and say we're gonna leave, even though Dax Harwood said they were never gonna leave, which is like, again, what a fucking surprise there. You mean to tell me that you weren't gonna go back to the company run by Vince McMahon, who the whole time he saw you was like, what's so special about you? You're bald and he's short. Like,
Jerry would be what he say? Jerry would be upset that I'm a fan of his son.
But don't you think like the tag team picture now, by like they also have to get Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal out of this tag team picture? Like,
no, they do not. No, they don't.
It's doing more harm than good.
No, it's not, Drip. That's just you. No, it's not. Give the people what they want, eh? You see, Jeff Jarrett has an AEW fan base. We love Jeff Jarrett. We don't care for Jay Lethal, but we'll take it because
that's the point. Like, so don't waste my time with like Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Like,
and they're gonna waste your time, Drip. We getting that Jeff Jarrett is getting that title soon.
I just hate how the Acclaim got fucked over by these guys much like CM Punk wanting to control the narrative of them being the heroes of their story, which is like, no, you're the villains. You whined and cried your way to be 3-time champions. I mean, 3 champions at 3 title belts at one time. Like that, they got the IWGP, they got the ROH World title, they had the AAA titles already.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time, like they were trying to leverage that over Tony Khan. When Tony Khan's like, I don't even want to use you right now. Like I'm lending you elsewhere so you can like get away from me.
Go to New Japan and wrestle.
And then the whole point of like, oh, they're having banger after banger over there, and like the matches with the Briscoes was like, again, rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. But it's the fucking Briscoes, no shit. Like you're having great matches with those guys.
And the fact that they're fucking what's the name in New Japan when they was like, we want a tag match.
Yeah, Aussie Open they were having matches with, and you see Aussie Open now are the WGP Tag Team Champions and having bangers with the Mighty Don't Kneel over there. Like it's my whole point with FTR, the Revival, is that yes, they might be good, but they were never as good as the guys they were facing. Mm-hmm. And when they faced weaker tag teams and that they were supposed to carry, the matches never turned out like, oh, these guys are all that in terms of like getting the most out of the least. And I said it once before, like, does anyone remember when they beat the New Day or when they beat whoever to win the Raw tag team titles? Like,
I don't even remember that WWE run, baby. I just remember the Revival. That's all I remember.
And the whole time they've turned into Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes for years was like, fuck the Revival. They've turned into Cody Rhodes in AEW. They took that spot of the person who thinks they know how to book themselves to maintain. Luckily, like you said, the crowd hasn't turned on them yet. But if this keeps going, at some point where the Acclaimed are shelled because they were scared of the negative heat that would come by beating the Acclaimed. And once CM Punk comes back and all the fucking shenanigans there with split shows potentially and split rosters and all that. Yeah. Again, Dax Harwood, you're no singles wrestler, so stop wasting my time. Like
FTR ball.
And Jeff Jarrett, go home. Go home already.
No. Bree Who is for the host. He's here to stay.
God. Fucking talk about
Bree Who. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one since he don't like Brew for the hoes. After that, Tony Khan announced that the Owen Hart tournament will start in Canada. Oh, Canada! So it will be out there, and then of course matches will be set up at Forbidden Door, and then of course it will end in Canada. So, oh, Canada! You getting Owen Hart? So. It feels like it may be people that's in New Japan as well that's going to be in this tournament, not just the AEW roster in this tournament. So, see where it goes this time. Last year, we got a little taste, a glimpse, and then of course this year they added some ideas to it. So it'll probably be better this year than it was last year. It wasn't bad last year.
No, it was really good last year. Was the thing like
last year? It was a predictable wins because I knew they was going to do the couples, but
yeah.
Now this year it could be,
at least a lot of the matches on the road to it, huh?
I want Rouge to win.
I was about to say
for some reason.
Pick 3 men and 3 women of who do you like to see?
Rouge, and I wouldn't mind for the women to be either Willow or Athena, one or the other. I wouldn't mind either. Or if Chris the Stallion comes back, I wouldn't mind her winning either.
I mean, she's coming back like this. Like,
can I interrupt for just a moment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Guess who is about to announce the next round of draft selection?
Who?
Eric Bischoff.
Oh, I mean, because anyone who goes to WWE looking for a job is a punk ass bitch or whatever he said, right? He's waiting. When he sees the call from WWE, he gets sort of like, no, I can't. Like, hello.
Ever since Tony told him, I'm not following your steps, I'm following the man that bought you. He just been that hit him. It's been FU ever since.
The best thing that AEW has done is stuck to we're not inviting Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo, or Hulk Hogan to our company. Because once WrestleMania opened in 2021, Vince McMahon said, Hulk Hogan, come on down, buddy. Like,
Yeah, and because I don't know why he thought he was gonna get him. Like, no, you can keep them. I'm good. I'm not trying to be like these guys. I'm trying to, I'm trying to learn from their mistakes, which he's kind of doing in a sense.
Always like, did he not? Tony Khan again is a wrestling historian. He's like, not only did they kill the company they were in, when they showed up to the other company that was thriving and trying to compete, they killed that company in TNA. Like, So why, if I'm starting a company from scratch, why would I invite the cancerous Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan to my company?
Yep.
But for the Owen Hart, I think I see Takeshita winning for the men's. If he could come back, I don't know. His health is still in question, but I think Kyle O'Reilly would be a good winner because it being in Canada and his comeback story. We'll get to Roddy Strong a little bit later in that. I don't know who my other option would be, but I definitely think
He said you can't kill TNA.
That is true. Well, I mean, that's because it changed its name.
Right.
And I do think Willow's an option. Chris Statlander's an option if she's cleared. Thunder Rosa, maybe. That's still a question mark.
Yeah, it's still a question mark.
Just like Kyle O'Reilly itself. I mean,
yeah.
So there are some options. I think it'll be surprise winners, people who are going to take that next step. Because like I said, last year was about Britt Baker and Adam Cole having that moment together. This year, I don't think they'll be doing something as predictable as that.
Yeah, Stardom at the third best women's roster. Banks just saying stuff right now. Okay, and then after that, Wardlow was in action against a jobber. The TNT Championship is back jobbing. But he's with Arn Anderson this time, so it should be better.
No, it won't. It will not. Listen, Wardlow is good. That's the thing.
I just think he needs. I don't think AEW is for Wardlow. I think he is more entertainment based. He will be perfect in WWE.
Yeah, he'd be good in NXT if he was there right now. But then he'd be Braun Breaker. He'd be the exact same thing.
Yeah,
like he's almost like and Braun Breaker is a better wrestler than him, but Wardlow is not a bad wrestler at all. That's the thing. Like Wardlow is good in the ring, and the character, like they never should have broke him and MJF up because it was a perfect fit.
No, he needs a woman manager. He's a sex symbol.
But then he'll be a heel, and like no one's gonna want to.
Then that's what he needs. I don't think he's meant to be a face.
That's what I mean. He was so good as a heel because he was the heel bodyguard for the little prick champion. Like, I mean, not champion at the time, but you know what I mean.
Pair Wardlow up with a woman. Have Wardlow just be a heel. I think he's meant to be a heel because him being a face and then just jobbing and oh yeah or whatever this shit is that he's doing.
No,
I don't know.
But also, like this TNT title has been cursed. I've said it for a year now. When Sammy Guevara won that title with his fake proposal to that woman he knew he wasn't going to be with, that title became cursed because Cody Rhodes beat him. Only when Cody Rhodes knew he was leaving, he beat him for that title. Cody Rhodes knew in his mind, like, I'm not going to be here, but I'm going to beat this kid for this title. He loses it to Scorpio Sky, wins it back. Scorpio Sky gets it again. And then it goes from Wardlow to Samoa Joe to fucking Darby Allin. So it's like, it's so from Wardlow again to Hobbs, and now it's back on Wardlow. Like, he needs to get away from this title. Most importantly, that's the thing. Like, that's the refresh he'll need if he, like you said, if you give him a heel. The
TNT Championship is supposed to be what the All Atlantic Championship is.
The international.
I just don't know. I just don't. You know what I mean, Drip. I don't know which one like they doing.
The TNT title doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't. Because it became Cody started with that. I have an open challenge every single week, which is what Darby Allin was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miro was kind of doing that, but he was doing it like Wardlow is in killing the title, which was squash match, squash match, squash match. But at least Miro would have like one or two title defenses on a big Rampage or the pay-per-view. Like him and Eddie Kingston had a good match at the pay-per-view for the title or something like that. Like, you know, but since that Samuel Guevara shit, like it's been cursed to back and forth changes, and whoever has it just holds it for weeks and doesn't defend it. Like they trapped Wardlow in a tag team with Samoa Joe for the whole time, knowing like Samoa Joe is going to turn on him. Like, and for what end? Just so he can be both champions of TV with the ROH title.
So Darby Allin's somewhat almost.
He was about to revive, and that's what I was saying. I
Yeah.
think the last time I was here, I'm like, he's reviving that title because he's the best TNT champion that they've ever had. That first run he had, he put in the work against Jungle Boy, fucking Matt Hardy, numerous other people until he lost it to Miro, which was a smart decision. Like they had booked it well to get to that point where like him having match after match, week after week. Like what will happen for Orange Cassidy that like, you know, you're running so fast that you're not taking time to rest, your body's going to quit, and that's how you'll lose the title. You can see that going the route for Orange Cassidy like it did for Darby Allin, but Wardlow just needs a clean restart overall. No TNT title.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe a heel turn because the TNT title needs to go back to someone that can carry it like Orange Cassidy's carrying the international scene. Now you got me saying it.
And that's where my boy comes in, because then you had Christian Cage come out with Luchasaurus, and I think this is what's going to happen. Luchasaurus going to beat Wardlow, but Luchasaurus going to do it in favor of Christian so Christian can have the title. So Christian won't be a fighter, but Luchasaurus will do all the fighting.
Oh, my God. Oh, God. See, I that sounds like something Tony Khan would do. That's why I'm like, why are you saying that?
Because Christian,
I know, because
the TNT champion makes sense.
And now it's basically become, so the international has basically become like the junior heavyweight title. Bandito, Orange Cassidy, Joe Listico.
That was the whole point, though.
No, it was more so like, well, they had Ishii in the Fatal 4-Way, so not really, but like the TNT title is now just a heavyweight. Like Samoa Joe, Hobbs, Wardlow, now Luchasaurus. It's kind of sticking in that realm of like,
okay, then let's keep it like that.
Well, I'm saying like it's like they have two titles designated for smaller, faster guys, and one title for bigger, heavier guys. In terms of like the groups of men who aren't going to be world title contenders, they'll hold one of these belts, and one's kind of designated more for this. So that's why once Wardlow beats Luchasaurus, or what you said ends up happening, which would be insane. It'll be interesting to see like who's the next TNT title contender. I said it. I think it was on the episode that you were on that. Like Jay White, once he's done with this, where he starts thing, will take that title off Orange Cassidy unless someone takes it off him. Before that, I don't see that happening. But yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Christian. Christian probably gonna get the belt, and Luchasaurus is gonna be his fighter. Or it'll be a storyline where Luchasaurus is the champion, but Christian's acting like he is the champion.
Yeah, he'll be the Paul Heyman, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So either or, but I do
make
like
sense because Luchasaurus can't talk.
Right, and I like Luchasaurus' new gear. That shit is badass. Can you put the picture back up there so people can see it one more time? That's badass. Look at that. Don't that look scary, Drip? That looks intimidating.
He looks ridiculous. My whole point with Luchasaurus is like the dinosaur thing is like it's
grow
one of those
up.
It's one of those
great.
It's one of those cartoony things in wrestling where you're like, I get it, but like it's kind of too dumb.
No, it's not.
But
You
need
that in wrestling.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it's really bad.
That one's not really bad. It's not over the top or nothing.
Well, I mean, it is now away from Jungle Boy because like the boy and his dinosaur thing worked. Like I liked Jurassic Express for what they were, which is like the babyface tag team that lost to the.
And now you got a fine elder man with a big bodyguard, and he dressed like a dinosaur. Some of his partners
That's what you want to hit like.
If you stood next to Luchasaurus in real life, The man is big, okay?
Yeah.
How big?
And he was at the WWE. There's a reason he's there. Like, he's a big guy. He's not a bad wrestler either. I think Wardlow's better than him, but they're in that same class of good enough, but like not great.
Yeah. They're like,
yeah.
I can.
They're not bad. They're not bad. Like
they're not bad, but
they're not
they're
botchamania
like,
or anything like that. But it's like, their best matches. Again, like Orange Cassidy gave Wardlow his best match when Wardlow was TNT champion. That's not a fucking shocker there. Because Wardlow didn't go on to have any other great matches as TNT champion because he either beat guys in 3 minutes or the whole Samoa Joe Hobbs thing. Like that was it.
Well, we're gonna move on because we still have so much to talk about. And then of course backstage, we'll skip through this. Backstage, of course, BCC attacked RJ City, and I like RJ City. Then after that, of course, the continuation.
Wait, what did Moxley say though?
Huh?
I forgot what did John Moxley say, but he was basically saying like everyone's on notice or everyone's no one's off limits, something like that.
Yeah, they beat his ass, and then they said, "Yeah, no one's off limits."
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm just trying to skim through this. Then after that, you had the 4 Pillars tournament or whatever. It was Sammy versus Darby Allin.
AKA Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler.
Where you get
like
that from?
No, like they have wrestled so many times over the course of AEW, and it's always like a great match. It's like whenever Tony Khan's like, I guess I'll put on Sammy and Darby and they'll have a great match, and it always turns out really good. It's that. Yes,
the things with the 4 Pillars, and I'm kind of mad at Darby Allin because he usually come harder than he does in promos, but I don't know. It's supposed to be a big thing, but it's just it's missing a lot. And I hate that MJF has to save the segment each time because I really don't care for him. But they're good in the ring. But if you want to hear them talk and shit like that, it's just not going to be there.
Well, this is where the story has been good but flawed. I talked about this a few weeks ago. But you could see earlier in the show, we skipped over that segment where it was Darby and Jack Perry backstage having like a real CW bro off of like, we might not be friends. You might have said some things about me. I might have said some things about you, but are we cool? Yeah, we're cool, but I still think I can beat you. It was like a very like CW, like come at me, bro, type of moment between the two of them. And it's like the story of the 4 Pillars facing off only works in terms of like the match happening. Mm-hmm. They didn't do a proper build-up with getting to that. Like this short tournament was poorly booked. It would have been better if there was like a more full-length tournament or each one had to continue like on a winning streak like they were basically setting up to get to the point. Mm-hmm. This whole that like Sammy agreed to lay down for MJF. That's why MJF is helping him win all these matches. Again, is the MJF playbook of like, do something for me because I have the money to pay you, and that's always the weakest parts of his story is I have all this money, do the work for me. And it's like that's why your stories suck because it's because it's all the same old shit. Like, and then people have to go through the trials of win match after match after match while you don't even have a fucking match. Basically, like what Chris Jericho did, what Cody did, etc. All of it. Like he puts the people through the gauntlet to face him. And now he's making the 4 Pillars. And again, it worked the first time with Darby Allin got the bye, so Jack Perry and Sammy Guevara could have a first time ever match. That made a lot of sense the way they booked that. But Darby Allin now having the match against Sammy Guevara and ending it with like the Eddie Guerrero finish was just like, huh?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to lead to like a triple threat match with the 3 of them, and somehow MJF would get involved and they call the match. Like basically what happened where like at the end, based off the way the match ends, Tony Schiavone gets to get on the mic and it was like, shut up, you prick. I got something to say. Like that was the funniest moment of the night when he was like,
you should have called him a bitch. You should have said, shut up, bitch. I got something to say.
It's like next week there's a tag match, and that's how we'll get to the match at Evolve. And Tony Khan has the idea. He doesn't have the path to get to the idea. And that's always his weakness when it comes to these stories.
And also, it's the wrestlers too. I know
they're all not ready on the mic is the thing.
Yeah, they're not. Jungle
even
Man,
MJF still has his weakest moments.
Yeah, I could tell Jungle Man, he still gets a little nervous. Still, he's still battling that. Like he's said it, he's expressed it so many times. He gets so nervous when it comes to the promos because he just hates doing it. Darby, he don't be current. Darby's really good at promos. That's why I was like, this one was not good. Making me mad right now because you deliver. Usually you deliver because you delivered when it was you versus MJF last year. So I was just kind of like, come on, Darby, you come harder than that. Sammy is just, it's always going to be a cringe every single time.
Because he's just going to say bitch and shit, and he's going to just try to piss people off by saying swear words because it's like that's the only way he can express himself. And he's like, I'm the bad guy. I'm supposed to say bad guy things. Like Darby's great at promos when they're pre-taped, and I'm not saying that because it's so easy, but like because the overall, creativeness of his pre-tapes is what sells him on the mic. Like he's the only person who puts that much care into his behind-the-scenes promos. Like that's with the way the cinematography and all that and the stunts that go with it. Like so, him in the narration, like his promos backstage are his biggest strength. That's where you can see him. It's like what got Jeff Hardy over in 2008. Not to always compare the two of them, but that's when Jeff Hardy finally figured out how to talk because they put more care into what went on when the crowd wasn't around.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Perry just does like you said, like you can see when he talks, he's like, shit, what do I say? Like, his delivery is like,
you can tell it's like, oh, I hate doing this shit. But
he's like, I don't want to be too corny, but I don't want to be like, it's that tough thing. It's like, and him being the son of an actor, I can imagine how tough it is. Like, it's like, it's right there. Like you should be able to do this. It's like, no, it makes it harder for him. It's like, and then again, like Sammy Guevara, like that's the one thing Chris Jericho hasn't taught him. And that's why he's a horrible OG is that he hasn't taught this man to cut a promo over the last 3 years.
I mean, you could teach somebody so much. I mean, all of these people was paired up with great people, except MJF. He was paired with a dork. But the rest of them was paired up with great people. It's just, you can teach, but it's up to the student to actually deliver. So they can only Christian did his job as a teacher. It's up to now, you got to fight that. Like, you got to fight the nervousness. You got to fight it and just be confident. But I will say that, being at AEW is not all about promos. They're all about in-ring because them four can go in the ring. So I'm pretty sure when this match happens at Double or Nothing, we're just going to forget about all of the segment to lead up to it because they're going to deliver in a match, which I know anyway. They're not bad wrestlers. They're just bad talkers. But it's okay. It's okay.
Well, actually, that how it started made a whole lot of sense where they just go out there and all at the same time say they won title shots. Like, so that's like, so you're already saying it's going to happen, but like the legwork to get there is the weak part because like they didn't have anything else except this is happening already. How do we draw the rest of it to get to there? And they're like,
and it's hard when your champion ain't fighting either. So,
I mean, it's hard when again, like he can't sell the story. Like you were saying, he's trying to salvage. It's like, is he? Because the idea of like him buying his way to title defenses is like, they always say same old shit when John Cena would do his stuff. But MJF, it's literally the same old shit time after time.
But we'll talk about it later when we get to our topic. I just want to skim through this before, because we got stuff to talk about. After that, Adam Cole came out and he called out my GOAT. He called him out for beating up his girl or whatever. I mean, nobody told her to come out there in men business anyway.
Would you? So you
in men business.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Knocked out. Huh?
So if your man was getting his ass beat, you're not coming out to help him?
Why is my man getting his ass beat?
Because he tried to fight Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho has more guys. He got the jump on him. He thought it was going to be on one-on-one, but Chris Jericho's like, no.
That's where your friends at? Where your around at?
One of his friends just came back, and one of his friends is at home healing. And then one of his friends is 80 years old and Bobby Fish.
Sound like he need a new click. Sound like he need a new clique.
Well, that's what
clique
happened
ain't
this
it.
week. They were trying to get the jump on him again, and Orange Cassidy, like the fucking superhero he is.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy came out.
That's the thing.
And Bandito, he just came out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, Bandito is just a baby face. Like he's like, yeah, it's the honorable thing to do. Like, but no, like we skipped over that segment backstage where like you can kind of hint that you get what they were hinting at a little bit earlier when Renee Paquette interviewed Orange Cassidy after his match. She had just talked to Adam Cole, and they kind of a brief moment, and Orange Cassidy's like, yeah, and then Bandito went like, yeah. So like, I guess Bandito is part of the best friends now, like because they try to save him, and then a graphic pops up on the screen and a song's playing. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And then like you see,
Quest. Let me ask King. If I don't get involved in men business, but now if it's a woman coming at my man crazy, oh, it's over with. It's over with. I let the men handle it, but you don't want to get women involved all the time. Then you're gonna be like, damn, your woman gotta come in for you. You don't know how to.
And I'll be like, yeah, like Steve Trevor, like, yeah, this is Wonder Woman. She fights my battles, like. Go on, get in there. I'm gonna be like, I'll hold the purse. Go ahead. Like,
nah, because if I pull that strap, it's over and I don't miss. But anyways, yeah. So that happened.
No, I'm saying Roderick Strong came out and like you said,
you
he didn't have any friends
already. You just said.
Oh, you are not skipping over the most important part of like Roderick Strong is now all elite.
Roderick Strong came out, everybody. He's not in NXT. NXT even forgot that he was in NXT. And yeah, there we go. Yay.
Now have 3/4 of the Undisputed Era. The boys
Yay.
are back. See, you'd rather root for the fucking Jericho Appreciation Society than the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, beat his ass.
With fucking hard nipples and fucking switchblade comb. Get the fuck out of here. And MAGA hat.
Where did that come from?
Because the Jericho Appreciation Society sucks. It's only Daniel Garcia. And again, he can't talk.
Yes, he can. He can talk. You just don't understand him.
It's him being so tough like New Yorker is like the biggest put on that anyone ever tried. Like it's like MJF trying to be rich boy heel. It's like, we get it. You're trying to act. It's you know. Like when Daniel Garcia was going, you don't got that dog in you to Willer. You don't like, you don't got that dog in you when you're saying this. So like, why are you even trying to make it seem like it's something you say? Come on.
That is something he'll say.
All right.
What's your beef with Daniel Garcia?
No, I like him as a wrestler. He's a really good wrestler. But again, to these Jericho proteges, he's not really hitting with them.
He had a good promo against Adam Cole. He let Adam Cole, I beat the best up in here, and it was facts. He did.
Yeah.
He did. And he wrestled him.
Well, I'm not a wrestler. I'm a sports entertainer.
Yes, he is.
Okay, Randy Orton, 2005 Randy Orton. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my
God. I'm a legend. Killer. Like, that's how he.
That's what I'm saying, Malik. He got beef with, I don't know what's his beef. I don't know why he hating on Jazz. They ain't did nothing to him. They just beat up.
The worst part of the show every
No,
week.
that was not. Adam Cole was the worst part of the show.
When Matt Menard comes, let me talk to you with my fucking nipples.
Yes.
Ah, it's like it.
Who don't like nipples? Everybody.
Good question.
What's the problem? If you in the chat, if you like nipples, give me a hell yeah.
Graham, play it. You know what to play.
Give me.
Spread up, run it.
I was scrambling. I was like, oh crap.
I was hurry up, offense reading the play. She's like, Graham.
If you like nipples, give me a yeah.
That is the noise I make. That is the noise I make when I see nipples, though. I can admit to that.
And anywho, then we'll get to the main event. We had the Butcher and Blade versus Kenny and Soup. Say his name, Drip. I say it wrong every time.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Yes, I call him Soup. He's Soup.
The Cinnabon God.
The Cinnabon God. Shout out to Butcher and Blade. I like y'all. I love y'all so much. Butcher and Blade, y'all are great workers. Great tag team. Actually, if we want to go there, if we talk about tag team division, go ahead and put the best on these two.
They'd be better tag team champs than what we've been getting the last 2-3 months. Yeah.
I love Butcher and Blade.
Yeah.
Butcher and Blade are great vets. I love them.
Even though this match was just meant to set up the final 3 minutes of the show, it was just kind of like I wish they probably had this at the start so they had more time. But
no, it went the great course, because they both are vets anyway, and they already, when they was on that show on the Cody and them showing Butcher's like, I could wrestle just 10 minutes and I'll be straight while eating and shit.
Yeah, because he's like, it's a job. When he's like, my band isn't together anymore. Like this is my job now.
Yeah, he was like, the band broke up, so I'm full time now.
But no, I do like them as a team, and you got to see Kenny Omega and his protege. See, Kenny Omega is a great OG, unlike Chris Jericho, because you see how well Takeshita is.
Is it beef?
With who?
With me, because I feel like it's beef with me.
No, I'm just saying. But this match again only set up.
Your OG is CM Punk.
No, he ain't.
Yes, it is.
It's John Cena. I just like CM Punk a lot. And John Cena was smart. He's like, I don't take on any proteges. They ain't good enough.
Well, no, take that back. I take that back. Austin Theory, he wanted to.
That's not his protege, because don't forget he had said
he wanted to put Austin Theory over.
He had also wanted to put the Redacted Dream over, but that match.
No, that's the protege because he wanted to put Austin Theory over.
Once the Redacted Dream got kicked out of WWE, he's like, damn, I need a new guy from NXT to put over because the one I was gonna fucked up, and now I can't pass the torch.
Just accept it. It's Austin Theory. Just accept it. Just accept it.
Graham, was he not saying that for years that he wanted to face the Redacted Dream? Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Exactly.
That was a time.
For like 2 years straight, he was like, I want to have a match with this kid. I want to.
Too bad. Now it's Austin Theory. Now he likes the guy.
What's up with Cena wanting to have matches with nasty niggas?
Because he's one too.
Because he is one, yeah. Like, you ever seen who he follows on Twitter? No, I'm not saying the wokeness shit. I'm saying
he's following that woke page.
I'm saying he follows like OnlyFans models. John Cena follows anything and everything. John Cena really is like the idea.
He's following the in woke and liking stuff.
You root for the Dallas Cowboys who have Jerry Jones as their. Don't get me started with this shit of like who did Tony Khan's dad send money to for his campaign?
The same that John Cena sent money to too.
Exactly. So the whole system's flawed. It's America.
Exactly. So don't be bringing it up because our favorites did too. They didn't want to pay them taxes.
But no, Grant, like John Cena is legit. Like this man follows OnlyFans models on Instagram and Twitter. Like he peeps the game.
He's following porn stars. He just
wanted to be Jim Ross when he grew up.
No, apparently he did hook up with Kendra Lust. That was a story.
He put heart eyes under Megan Thee Stallion stuff. Like,
well, who doesn't? That's any living human being. Anyone with a pulse does that.
You want to be like The Rock? I want to drink her bath water.
No, because The Rock is like, Megan Thee Stallion. Let me tell you about a story of a boy with $7. And she's like, oh shit.
I don't think he knows who she is. Yeah.
So the match ends, and then what happens? The BCC comes out.
Well, first of all, Danielson was already out because he was doing commentating. He was commentating.
He had my favorite line of the night besides Tony Schiavone saying "you prick" to MJF was when Bryan Danielson's like, Kenny Omega's been back for 3 months. Why hasn't he challenged MJF for the world title? I'm like, oh, someone with logic says something smart for once on the show.
Why would he want to wrestle him?
He's saying why wouldn't he want to be world champion?
Not yet.
And if you're Kenny Omega, you wash MJF. He can't hang with you.
I don't think you want to waste time in a match with that man.
Well, I'm not. That's in like the real world sense. In the realm of Dynamite, Bryan Danielson was saying like Kenny Omega has to stop wasting his time hanging with the Young Bucks and be a title
He's not wasting his time. He was already champion. He's having fun now.
Yeah, that's what Danielson was saying. He's like, they were, because Excalibur was like, they were trios champions. And Danielson was like, that was weeks ago, damn it. Like, he was just heated that Kenny Omega isn't living up to his potential. This man just came back
from an injury and y'all want him to be in. You said it so many times. Y'all want him to get injured again?
No, I'm saying Bryan Danielson is calling him out for like not living up to his wrestling potential. When
what
Bryan
potential? He's been. Why is Danielson talking like? Come on.
Like what? Like he doesn't give it his all because he gives it his all every week. Don't forget, he had to face what? How many guys? For 4 guys?
Kenny Omega's been there, done that too. He's just having fun this time.
Well, they're gonna run it back. Don't forget, they only had that draw.
Yeah,
they haven't had a one-on-one match since. So
yeah, we gonna run it back.
Yeah,
I'm running it back. That's where they lead into anyway.
That they're hinting at Takeshita, the Young Bucks. Oh, that was a good moment when and I hate saying it, but that was like a real like anime moment when like Takeshita was like, we're better than them. We don't have to be the villains because that will make us the villains. And then look what happened. They cut his fucking head open, and afterward he was like, I made a huge mistake. Like. We should have killed him.
They did the same thing to Wheeler Yuta. It's the same thing.
You're on the side that Takeshita will join the BCC instead of the
yeah. That's the way that is what exactly happened to Wheeler Yuta when he was with the best friends. They attacked the fuck out of him. He started bleeding. Then the next several days, that's when he joined.
Yeah.
That was you got to draw blood. He drew blood.
Well, but then the sides go back to being uneven, and then they bring in Hangman Page to partner up with the Elite. They have their reunion, but they're still a man short, and that's when you get into the whole fantasy booking of like, there's that man called Kota Ibushi who's
his baby daddy coming,
who's a free agent, and then that's when you get into 5-on-5, you know. And I'd like to see it. That's a great though. This is a story that knows where it wants to go because the guys telling it know where they want to go because they care about it. That's the difference between this story. I'm not trying to compare it to like how the online discourse today about
because these people know what they're doing prior to the people that's their, you know, they think, especially that champion that know what he's doing, and it's just not. I don't know.
No, I mean like everyone in the Elite has been trying to tell the same story the last 5 years of like these guys falling in and out of love with each other and like still working together, which is why they control their own destiny with their storytelling. Like even from New Japan to ROH, AEW now, like they are the writers of this story. They always have and always will be, which is why the Hangman Page moment when he joins will be huge because like they built that up perfectly with him kind of breaking away from them and now potentially coming back after leaving the Dark Order and all that. And then the Kota Ibushi story is always, that's Kenny Omega's primary story of the man he loves, you know, coming to his aid in his time of need.
So perfect love story. I love it.
But
it's okay. Braturai, much better.
And again, that's the thing that's talked about today. But in a way, like this, I'm not trying to say, oh, this is their version of the bloodline to be like too headliney, but like they've been telling the story, like I said, for 5 years. The whole point of being the Elite was to tell the story. It wasn't just to show the private lives of Matt and Nick Jackson. It was to show they were writing their own stories offline. So when they went on ROH and New Japan TV, the story made sense to them. And they've been doing that since Dynamite started.
Love, 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 love is in the air. Perfect.
So Kenny Omega's son betrays him, but his lover comes back. the father of his son returns.
Mhm. Don't
Yeah,
you hit my man like that.
No, he'll be like, "That's your father," and like stops him, like because they both trained Takeshita. They're responsible for him. So
Mhm. Oh, I love this love story already. Okay, so we're gonna get into some Rampage. I'm not gonna take too long on it because Rampage did happen for it was on a Saturday, but of course it was moved on a Saturday because real sports. You can't compete. Wrestling could never compete with real sports. It was a time where wrestling was beating real sports in ratings, but now things have changed. We have to deal with real sports. So we'll get to Rampage and then Drew will come back out. Rampage, of course, we had Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, Juice Robinson
Bullet Club, baby.
versus Ricky Starks and Sean Spears. Now I'm not gonna lie, I did because I saw it late because I forgot it did came on Saturday because I was looking at the game. But then when I finally saw it, Ricky Starks and Sean Spears actually made a good pair together. They worked really good together. At first, it didn't look good on paper, but it did look good in the match. Did you do a change mid episode?
Yeah, to do Rampage. Different show.
He did a but anyways, Bullet Club Gold versus Ricky Starks and Sean Spears. Like I said, they did make a good pair. I was worried about it, but Sean Spears and Ricky Starks did make a great pair. Ricky Starks and Jay White had great encounters against one another.
Yeah.
So I know they're leading up to a Jay White versus Ricky Starks eventually because I feel like Ricky Starks is going to end up being Bullet Club Gold.
I almost was thinking Sean Spears because Sean Spears needs something to do, and like Sean Spears is kind of a better fit than Juice Robinson. Like the weakest part of this match and the whole story has been Juice Robinson because him on the mic is just so. You want to talk about cringe? It's just like cringe of annoyance of like rock hard and like Ricky Starks. Yeah, like he just gets like it's like oh my, it's like again like Jay White has been tasked with carrying this man because of like Jay White's like, listen, we were in the same club for a little bit. I was there first and longer. He just kind of showed up one day because they needed him to do something. So like, I gotta look after the guy. I gotta be friendly. Like it's a responsibility. You know, it's like a fraternity brother. It's like I owe him something. But like. He sees Juice Robinson in his stupid fucking pants and is like, shit.
Yeah, I'd rather El Phantasmo than Juice Robinson.
Yeah, well, El Phantasmo was a great wrestler.
Yeah, I'd rather the switch. Juice, you go to Impact. El Phantasmo, bring your ass paid. That's just me. I'm just gonna give it time because I don't want to just pile on Juice Robinson, but I just don't see nothing there. I don't.
Tony Storm saw something. I mean,
yeah, so I can't lie. Yeah,
but I mean, Jay White got the pin, got the win, so everyone can shut the fuck up about them not knowing what to do with Jay White. Again, like Jay White just got there, he's not losing, so what's the issue? Again, he's gonna face Ricky Starks is gonna beat Juice Robinson. Is it this week? Yeah, this week, and then him and Jay White will have a match at Double or Nothing probably, and then maybe that's when Ricky Starks realizes if you can't beat them, you join them, like you're trying to say, which would maybe be a good fit for Ricky Starks for a while if they're not going to put him in the TNT title picture, which is something I've said for a while. He would basically do for what Orange Cassidy is doing for the International in terms of a guy who can carry a title week to week against an opponent of the week, but Jay White, and it's still weird seeing Jay White wrestle on national
Leave
TV.
him alone.
Wrestle on national TV because it's like his style is meant to be more. It's like a director who does long artistic films and now is trying to do short blockbuster films. Like Jay White is better in longer matches where he tells a full story, but now he's kind of cut out certain stuff because he only has 15 minutes on TV. So he's trying to adapt to that style, which is why Commander was a great first match for him a few weeks ago because he's now having to wrestle different types of opponents, smaller guys, more athletic guys in terms of junior heavyweight guys. New Japan, they were always kind of segregate those guys from divisions and all that. So it was a good tag match. I wasn't the best, but each guy kind of had a moment to shine.
Yeah.
Even again, it's good seeing Sean Spears. He's one of those guys who's like he's in that realm, like an Ethan Page. Like he's good. Like he's good enough to like keep going. Like in you like seeing him, but like he never reaches past another level because he's never bad.
White juice. Oh my god.
I mean, white juice is when you know.
You.
Well, white juice is what? Is it an alcohol?
No.
Drip is being nasty on the show, y'all. Nasty Drip. Okay, Mr. Nasty. We're gonna move on.
Wow.
Lexi Nair was backstage with Hook, Matt Hardy, and Jeff Hardy.
Oh my god.
Isaiah is kidnapped. They had Isaiah kidnapped. The firm has kidnapped Isaiah, so they had him. So we have that. Like you said, you need your little mid-card stuff going. So you
not
have
for
that.
this. Not
What's
for
wrong
this.
with the firm? What's wrong with it?
They're gonna do Matt Hardy's bullshit with his fucking.
What's wrong with delete?
Oh,
Delete. You don't like
I never liked the deletion stuff.
Why? It's fun.
Again, that's one of those things we talked about, like Luchasaurus. Like wrestling doesn't need to be that cartoony and corny. Like it already kind of.
No, you just not fun. Okay.
Is she saying I'm not fun?
Yeah. Drip, you have to have the comedy in wrestling too. To bring
Orange Cassidy is the comedy in wrestling. That's the time where it's perfect. It's like
you're like a cranky old man right now. You don't want to see that? You don't like seeing the delete?
No.
You gotta have
I never
fun. Delete. Exactly, it's fun. Delete.
Did you laugh when he cut that horrible promo of like, no, what you did to Isaiah? No. And then Hook is just like, Firm's getting deleted.
No, I enjoyed it.
Hang on.
Yes, thank you. The N and the H. Thank you. That you know what? The N and
Hook
H.
was like,
you are my supporter of the week right now. Thank you.
Here's what Hook was.
Some stuff's gotta be silly. You have to add some silly.
This is what Hook was like. The Firm's getting deleted.
Delete.
They were making Hook wrestle Lee Moriarty. He was having
Drip is on Met Gala Keeks right now.
Why are you saying that?
Because you literally did a wardrobe change in mid-episode. If you just getting here, Drip had something on totally different. Then he changed.
I had on.
But his name is Drip, I guess.
I had on one of your shirts, which you can get at foryourwear.com. Go and get one of those.
Thank you. Delete. When I was at AEW and he was doing that, we was delete.
People chant for anything in wrestling. They chant for fucking shush. They chant for anything in wrestling. Do they not?
Nope.
They chant
we don't
anything.
For anything. Drip hate on AEW like I hate him. No, he don't. He just don't like fun.
I don't like the Matt Hardy. I never liked the Matt Hardy. Again, these two, the Hardy brothers should have been retired 7 years ago.
He hates fun. Delete.
When this delete shit started is when they should have like, all right, let's call it a career.
Delete. Y'all, when I was at Black Wrestling last year at the Mania watch party, Cody came out and he walked out. Oh, you heard wrestling has more than one royal family. He went that way.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so moving on. We had Dusty Rhodes and Keith Lee. You aren't fun. The
I didn't like this. I didn't like this either.
He didn't like this either, y'all. Dusty Rhodes.
But you know why I didn't like this. So
I know. Versus some jobbers.
It's funny because they're facing a jobber in terms of the guy leading the story or so.
Yeah, and then of course the embassy came out. Swerve is the head of embassy now. I guess he's not calling it the Mongol anymore. It's the embassy.
No, because Mr. Can't Get Over It by himself has to have another faction to get him over, like he did over on the other side. Except the first faction,
the mobile embassy.
So the first faction he made couldn't get him over, so now he has to get another faction to try to get him over.
Drip. You cannot say that because who cares about Hero now?
Who cares about him and the Mogul affiliates?
Everybody, they literally like that. Have you been seeing the timeline when he posted the picture? It's been this faction is going to eat, and everybody like the shiesty masks too, the different ones. So you got to listen to the AEW fans, not how you personally feel. The AEW fans like this faction right now. I think it's the shiesty masks, but they do like this faction so far. I personally think it needs to be a woman in this faction, a muscle, a woman that's a muscle. I would like that. But we won't spend too much time. On it. Okay, so then,
I'm saying like, who do they get? Because you are right, that would make it complete.
I can't think of old girl name, but she's just as Kayla Ross. Yes, her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is she still there or did she leave? Can't remember.
No, she's still there. She's still on. She was injured.
Yeah, because they're trying to pair her with Joey Janela. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People like Swerve just want to see him fight.
That's the thing.
I'm honestly tired of this feud. It needs.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like they just need to have the one-on-one already and be done because him and this faction can move on to do other things, but like by him creating another faction in this feud that's why this story sucks so much with the two of them. That
would work too because the embassy is in ROH. She's in ROH. That will also work. But I think the Kayla Ross will be better.
Trying to think if there's a woman right now. But no, like the reason this feud has been bad is, like I said, this feud kickstarted with the Mogul affiliates, and then now it's become the Mogul. So that's why I'm like two different factions with the same guy in charge. When it's just like just face the guy one-on-one already, then you can move on to your own thing.
He wants a faction.
No, I'm saying the faction's like when you can just face the guy one-on-one is why the story is weak to me. Because again, now you in Dustin Rhodes again. I don't want to see Dustin Rhodes in 2023. He can still go. I know, but it's that thing where like it's not a good look for Keith Lee that he is partnering up with Dustin Rhodes.
She said Diamante. No, Kiera Hogan in. No.
I was thinking Kiera Hogan, but
Kiera Hogan.
But then she'd take all the shine and he wouldn't like that. So
that's not true. That is not true. Well, King Quest, it's not about you. This is coming from his own mouth, okay? He wants a faction. That's what came out of his mouth on his podcast. So, if that's what he wants, that's what he wants. Can't argue with it, okay? We'll move on from that.
That's probably the next TNT title challenger after Luchasaurus.
Yeah, I can see that too. I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to make me mad.
Well, because that's Luchasaurus is not going to win, and by the time this feud's done, he'll need something new to elevate him.
Yeah.
And maybe by then that'll be like the time to give him something, because they haven't given him anything since the tag titles.
And then after that shit, we had the Acclaim and Daddy Ass. I guess they're gonna start putting them in the trios division. Because they have been wrestling together for this the second time. So they're about to be a new trios to be in that trios division. They are in a match this week. The Trios de Mayo Trios Battle Royal, because it is Cinco de Mayo this weekend. If you in Texas, they do got the alcohol on sale. You already know how we get down out here when it's Cinco de Mayo weekend. We get lit. You already know. So if you going to On the Border has a happy hour 20%. Get your drink on, because that's what I'm doing this weekend. But yeah, so they put them in the trios division. So they had a squash match just to, get them ready for the trios division. Then we'll move on to the main event, because of course
Is that what you want to see? Them versus House of Black? You think that would be good? Even though Billy Gunn these days is like,
Yes. I don't care. Like the gimmick, you gotta separate the gimmick from their in-ring.
Who?
From the Acclaim.
No, I mean they're good wrestlers. I'm saying like Billy Gunn being the third person in the trios for them. I'm like, I wish they had someone better.
No, there's nothing wrong with Billy Gunn. He still has it. What is your beef with old people? Because you got beef with old people.
Graham, do you think I hate old people?
Yes, you hate on every vet that's still wrestling. Why? What is your beef with?
Why are you still wrestling? I mean, like we see you're not as good as you used to be.
Because they want to.
Billy Gunn couldn't even hit the Famouser this week.
Drip has beef with old people. Drip wants y'all to go home and retire.
Yeah.
But they don't want to go home and retire.
I can't wait to retire.
They love what they do.
No, he should have retired was the thing. Like once I saw him come back in after those first 10 matches, I'm like, man, this guy isn't the same anymore. And he kept exposing himself time after time. I'm like, he really wanted to come back and wrestle. And he was like, I ache. And I heard him like, yeah, I can tell. Because these matches show how much you like are out of shape and can't wrestle anymore. That's why him trying to come back with this Collision show, I'm like, don't do it. Don't. You're going to get injured again, and then you'll be like, what the fuck am I doing? Because that's what's going to happen. He's cursed.
Y'all, every time a vet come out, here come Drew, here come this old fuck. Like, every time.
Yeah. It's about the new age. They said they weren't going to be, like, you knock them every year for bringing out the old vets to sell WrestleMania and fucking disregarding the new people who did the work all year.
But the vets here are helping.
Next.
All right.
Oh God, I don't want it. Okay, this was a weak Rampage after the first.
Listen,
match.
the game was on. They can't compete with.
No,
the
I
game.
know. That's why I'm like. That's why I was pissed. Like they buried Jay White this week with the shitty Rampage.
They did not bury him.
Yeah, they kicked off the show. They're like, hurry up. Real Sports is going to be on. So, like,
yeah,
wrestle your shitty matches and get out of here. Like,
listen. It's not their fault that wrestling is declined. I mean, like I said, I came from when Raw used to kick Monday Night Football's ass every week. So it's not my fault. It's on the decline. And networks are like, hey, Real Sports is coming on. Y'all gonna have to move.
Beat it.
Real Sports coming on. Real Sports. Move.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
So is wrestling is the side chick?
Yeah.
Come on, my wife is going on. Go.
Shoot, Fox let it be known. Listen, SmackDown. We just letting you know now. When it's football season, baseball season, y'all gonna have to move.
That's what is funny when they do promote SmackDown on like Real Sports. It's like, And on Friday, don't forget to check out SmackDown with Roman Reigns and who else is on this show? Yeah.
Yeah, you get to hear Rock Bottom. I mean, Roman Reigns. And now back to sports.
Yeah.
So yeah, wrestling is a side chick, unfortunately. So and then the main event, of course, we had FTR Hair versus Jay Lethal. Again. Cash is not the annoying one, but again, Jay Lethal was the better wrestler in this match. It was neck to neck, but Jay was, of course, Jay's a good wrestler.
Well, yeah,
Lethal's always been a great wrestler. He's just annoying, but again, another better match by Jay. They did do a little sneak to win, and yeah, them FTR boys took an L.
Yeah, and the whole Mark Briscoe involvement, that's the other part of the story besides the tag titles, which I'm like, eh.
Yeah, Cash is the fine one. Cash the fine one. You're right. The N's and the H, yes. Sorry.
No, it's just funny. I like which guy out of FTR is the fun one. Like,
it's Cash, not FTR.
Like, because he has hair, yeah.
No, he's actually a nice looking. Put the picture up. Put that picture of him up again. Yeah, that look at him. It's a nice looking good.
Even though he had multiple Chinese symbol tattoos, he was that white guy. He covered up the ones on the back, but he still has the ones on the side.
Yeah, FTR Hair.
But like I said, again, Jay Lethal, he is a good wrestler, but the fact that they lost the 2 singles matches, so now Lethal and Jarrett will feel inclined to have a tag team title match.
Yeah, as they should.
No, I'm like that booking is just some like drain. Like, just put the Acclaim don't need to be a trio because they're stuck with Billy Gunn. They need to be the tag team champs. Like,
they're not stuck with Billy Gunn. They like Billy Gunn. That's their mentor.
No, I'm not saying as the manager he's perfect, but not as the third member of a potential trio.
Well,
team.
he is. Drip, get over it. Why are you hating on the old people?
Because they're the reasons this country is in the shitter. That's why. They're fucking mistakes.
Drip
cursed
said,
us
Drip
to try
said
to do
it should be
better.
an age limit to wrestling. Drip said once you hit 45 is it. Thank you. Drip said once you hit 45, you need to be done.
No, because I'm trying to think like AJ Styles, I think might be 45 or 46, and he's still pretty good.
Then you need to be done, AJ Styles. This your last year.
Nah, because at least AJ Styles could still do his shit.
So can Jericho, so can Jeff Jarrett.
That's why he has to wear those special knee braces. Nope.
Yes, they can. So can Sting. We saw Sting jump off. Shit.
That's because he's got a death wish. See, that's why I was about to say AJ Styles is going to be 46 soon. Yeah, because I think we just looked that up the other day.
Drip is showing ageism on this show. If you an old person, you can do anything you put your mind to. It don't matter how old you turn, and if you still can do it, do it. Don't listen to Drip.
No, because listen, the woman I'm with, she's older than me, so I'm not an ageist.
It is ageism. All right, let's get into some women business. Women business.
This is what you need to do. You need to stay out of women business.
Wait a minute. What Sean say? He said AJ believe the earth is flat. All right, we're going to get into some women business, y'all. All right, women business. Dynamite. We did have the TBS championship match between Jade, Cargill, and Taya Valkyrie. Taya really did try. I'm a fan of Taya Valkyrie. She's really good at Lucha Libre. So, she did very well help carrying this match and making Jade look great. Jade did the suicide. She did the Canadian Destroyer. Great. And she did another move that I've never seen her do. Is she did it for the first time. So it was pretty good. It had a little spots, but they picked up, and now Jade wins, and then Taya almost knocked Aubrey's head off. Because the rules of the match that Taya couldn't do Jade's finisher. They both have the same finishers. So that was the rules to the match. That's why Taya couldn't use it. So she ended up losing. I don't agree with the ending. I didn't like how that, wherever the fuck that was, that roll, pin, whatever. It was weird, but hey, we get what we get. Fuck it, we still ball. So they're continuing that feud because Taya said the shit ain't over. So Jade has a legitimate storyline this time. So she's paired up with the vet. Taya is a great vet. Now, you have to be mindful that Taya Valkyrie moves a lot faster than she did this match because she's facing someone like Jade Cargill, and I'm not knocking Jade Cargill, but in ring wise, she had to slow down just a little bit for Jade so Jade could keep up. But this was a great match for Jade. She showcased Jade in a good way. There's still some work to do, in my opinion, but Jade finally has a legitimate storyline. I could tell that she trusts Taya a little bit, but she just has to keep up with Taya because she's fast-paced because she's all about lucha. I mean, she trained with Lucha Brothers and stuff like that. So she's like this. She's, if you ever seen a Taya Valkyrie match, especially in Mexico or any other luchador or luchadora opponent, one of the girls she always faces is the new sexy star. So if if you're not familiar with Taya Valkyrie, she's real known in Lucha Libre. So she's one of those she's fast-paced wrestler. And of course, she's a lot older. Not saying that knocks her, her style, but she still has it. So great match between her and Jade.
And I'm fucking ageist.
I put her over though. I'm not saying that Taya don't need to be fighting. I'm just saying she's a lot quicker, but she used to be faster than what she used to be. But, of course, age. I'm not saying, Taya, you push it in your 40s. You don't need to be wrestling like you saying these other folks.
Hey, yo. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Feels like Chris, that's who they waiting on. That's who they waiting on right there. That's who I'm waiting on.
You see that video of Statlander?
Yeah, man, she in the gym.
Oh my
God. She about to rock that world when she come back. She about to, what you say? But then, of course, you had a backstage segment with Jamie Hayter afterwards. She letting the Outcast know, hey, this ain't over. We getting it back in blood, okay? You got to get it back in blood. So they still continuing with that storyline. It did pick up in a better way last week. We still just need to get it together, but we're getting close to Double or Nothing. It's finally May, so maybe it'll start picking up the pace where we want it to, so we can see where this actually goes. Okay. And then Rampage, we're moving on. Women Business Rampage. Tay Conti has some screen time, letting Sammy know that you're not even really friends with MJF. I don't even know why you following behind this man. She was being a real one with this one. You know how she talk. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? You know how she
wow.
She remind me of Jocelyn when she talk. But yeah, she just you don't even like him. You know what I'm saying? So she just letting you know, like, Sammy, this is not your boy. Why you on his meat? Get off his meat, okay? You embarrassing me. You embarrassing me in front of my friend Anna Jay and shit. I don't like that. And then speaking of Anna Jay had a match on Rampage. She went against Ashley D. Amboise. Anna Jay. Now this match was better than the last match that she had. She did pick up a little bit. I guess she heard my show, or she saw her mistakes, or Jericho probably told her, "Hey, you need to work on this and this and this." Because the last match that you did, it was not good, but this match was a little better for her. She was showcased better. And then of course she won that match, and then the lights went off. Stevie, yeah, and then the lights went off, and then of course Julia Hart came out. So this is another non-title rivalry in the women's division between Julia Hart and Anna Jade. A Jazz and House of Black thing going on. Which like we've been saying, the women division needs. So, you got to give it a chance. Give Anna Jay a chance, because she is trying, and I can tell that she actually wants to be better. You just have to, don't be scared to take the bumps. I know you pretty, you're a beautiful lady, thick as hell. Don't be afraid to scare. You got to take them bumps. You got to take them bumps, okay? Don't be scared to take them bumps, because you got to take them bumps. And yes, she does. She reminds me of Stacey Kindler too. I've said that. I tweeted that too. She does remind me of Stacey Kindler. So, Anna Jay, if you're listening again, don't be scared to take them bumps. Please don't be scared to take them bumps. We know you would die. We know you would 10. And I know you don't want to hurt, I ain't trying to be out here looking like Britt Baker and stuff like that, but you in wrestling. We know you beautiful, but take them bumps. You got to take it like a G, okay? Yes, that's most important. It's the other feuds in the women's division. So we finally got one with Anna Jay and Julia Hart. Just give them a chance. Be open. Don't be hard on them, because they are trying. You know what I'm saying? They have to try you. If y'all are able to give certain men chances on the screen, you gotta be fair and give the ladies chances on the screen. Like, y'all keep saying we need more than one women's card, but then when they do give it to you, you shit on it. Then that's when they result right back to the one. So just give Anna Jay and Julia Hart a chance, because they really are trying, and you can tell that they are trying. Julia Hart has gotten better. She's confident. Anna Jay, she's there. She just has to not be scared to take the bumps. You got to take the bumps, Anna Jay. So that's all we need from you, is to take them bumps. Also, in women business, Saraya did call out Willow. You got to pray for Willow back Wednesday. Saraya is facing Willow Nightingale. We're going to pray for Willow back on this one, because that's all I can do. I don't want to be negative, so I'm gonna just be like, okay. So that's the women business. You have Saraya versus Willow Nightingale this coming Wednesday. So, Drip, you have anything? Raise your hand.
I thought what you said perfect was they're doing other women feuds that don't necessarily involve the title. That meaning the TBS or the main women's title, because Anna Jay and Julia Hart are just facing each other because they have beef kind of with their factions, but not even with their factions. Like, they're kind of just going up around their factions to go at each other, which is good. Because I'd rather see another extra women's match than the firm deletion shit. That's what I mean. Like, I'd rather see that instead of just like more segments for the men that I feel are kind of useless already, because this doesn't elevate members of the firm. And it's kind of dragging someone like Hook down to hang with the Hardys. Again, that's my age thing. Like, I don't want to see the Hardys, because I'd rather see the women get more spotlight than, people who aren't cutting it when they get the TV time, something like that. So that was
But Hook is a draw.
I know Hook is, but like, I'd rather see Hook do something else that doesn't involve the firm and all that. But if it's going to that's the thing where like a potential brand split would help them. Mm-hmm. Like what's being rumored in terms of like being able to showcase more women overall, because the pool will be thinner, but then you'll be able to pull a lot more resources from the indies and the amazing women that haven't been signed yet. Mm-hmm. And maybe will potentially, because now they'll have to fill 2 rosters at once.
Yeah.
Along with what they already share with ROH as well. And that way someone like Hook, has a better way to shine, something like that. But I thought that was a great point. I already talked about the Jade thing on BRP last week, so I won't harp on that too much. But like you said, Ty Valkyrie was trying to give her best match that she's had in a while, because Jade had a lot of good matches in 2022.
Mm-hmm. Not a Rose
in 2021 more than she did in 2022. It was that thing where like once she was kind of like fully trying to establish herself, she was trying to show she had the work, but then when she got the title, it was like kind of thought that's when like the wheels started to come off a little bit. Like her and Ty Conti was all right. Her and Anna Jay was pretty good.
Call it like it is. Egotistic came into play.
Yeah, but Nyla Rose was trying to give her her best story for a feud in terms of like making Jade seem like the underdog because like I'm going to be bigger than you and stronger than you and I'm just as quick as you. Like you beat all these other women up, but I'm someone who can beat you up. And Ty Valkyrie is kind of in that same role right now, and her having the same move is like the whole focal point of the feud, which is okay. But I think everyone kind of agrees. Like, had Athena been the first one to knock her off, maybe it'd be interesting to see what things would be like now. Because I thought that's what should have happened at the time. Was that Athena comes in, beats Jade, and it's like now that Jade has that loss, she can just not be like any other woman, but she doesn't have to worry about like who's that first loss going to come to, which has been the thing the last year and a half.
And I've told you it's Chris Statlander.
Oh, I know that. Like the fact that they have to keep waiting for that moment because she has the worst injury luck of all time for someone who's so primed for a moment. It just sucks to see like them tread water until this woman's healthy because like she got injured 2 different times and it's like fuck. Because they weren't trying to rush it the second time either in terms of like they were trying to reestablish her of like maybe people didn't remember her the first time when she was injured. The gimmick kind of did change. She wasn't so much the alien Chris Statlander as she was the best friend's Chris Statlander that she was becoming. So I don't know if she'll be a different Chris Statlander this time. In terms of like she'll be again jacked Chris Statlander, you know, like but it's that thing where when she comes back, that's like we said it earlier in the show, like maybe she wins the Owen Hart, challenges Jade right after.
That could work.
Hopefully it happens, yeah.
And I know like people, like I've been saying, people been like Nyla Rose, blah blah blah. But you know, we in times where you know people are judgmental and they have to protect Nyla Rose now. Like as far as like going to these different cities and states that's banning transgender performances and performers. So it's very unfortunate because Nyla Rose is talented. Definitely will make a difference in the women's division, but we're in society time. That's why you haven't really been seeing Sunny either. So it's just like
I was just about to say that.
They have to protect their, you know, there's trans stars right now from different states and cities. And it'd be like, you can't be like, I can't go because you got to have money now. You have to put money into the product. And then, you know, TNT come into play too and Warner Media. So it's not like they can't be like, well, we can't, you know, and then plus the tapings are in Jacksonville, Florida. And we see what Florida going through right now. So,
yeah.
But the good thing, I mean, she's still getting paid. Both of them still getting paid. Like they are actively wrestling, but we in times where they can't even wrestle or they get penalized for it. Or, you know, you don't want to face the whole you're banned from performing in this city or you're banned from performing in the state or a lawsuit, things like that. So that's not why we haven't really been seeing Nyla Rose or Sunny. So far.
And the Vicky thing with Nia as well, kind of.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Nyla Rose has been the casualty of some things out of her control is the thing and that's the shitty part. It's like there are things that have nothing to do with her. They're not self-inflicted. It's like she is, that's because like she is talented, and like I said, there are other women who hopefully can get some more shine. Kiera Hogan, Red Velvet. It was great that Hill came back for a little bit because when she kind of went back to Japan after quarantine wasn't as locked down, like I think she went back to Japan because she missed it so much that she was kind of having some run here in a little bit. And I always like seeing her around. So that's something. There are multiple options in the AEW women's division. Again, Sky Blue, Willow being the latest 2 signings along with Taya. Like they are building a well-rounded roster. which is what you were arguing last week, and I agreed with it when we talked about it on BRP, was that the whole, I mean, we only talked about it for a little bit, but the Trinity thing, like, would have been a big deal if she came there, yeah, but she'll be a bigger deal where she is now. And that's not saying she still can't show up one day. Did they not have people from Impact to show up to AEW and compete and vice versa? Like, so there's still an opportunity there for her to do some one-offs or occasional appearances in the future. I definitely see it happening. Just like I still think there's a shot Mercedes Moné shows up and has a match on Dynamite. Doesn't mean she has to be locked into a contract with him. It's the way Tony Khan works, where he believes in allowing people like the old territories to come in, have a shot, go back to their territory.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason Forbidden Door exists. That's the reason Vikingo has gotten 2 matches and will get more if, like you say, AAA allows it. Because at some point, maybe he's like, this is fun coming over here. I'll be over here.
Yeah, it's allowed. Because it's bringing exposure. It's just unfortunate. I didn't know Triple Mania came on the same time that Impact shit came on, and people cared about Impact, so we forgot. But then at the same time, Alberto Del Rio was booked, so it was just like, we just gonna hurry up and have this motherfucking match. We don't care. We're not gonna advertise it too much. Just hurry up and have it. But they advertising the mess out of the July one because Kenny Omega is booked against Vikingo this summer. So yeah,
that's when Kenny Omega does he does a favor now because Vikingo did the favor to him.
Yeah, they advertising this one now, so it's just like, yeah, let's just get this one out the way because we, his daddy begged and we just said yeah, so just get it over with. And I heard it wasn't even good. He wasn't good, so like I knew he wasn't gonna be. So I didn't really miss much from that Triple Mania. So the topic of discussion, we'll get it's already damn. All right, so we'll briefly talk about it. The topic was I put that the Orange Cassidy has managed to have made the All Atlantic Championship more prestige than the AEW Championship. Me being an AEW fan since it first started, when it started off with Jericho, like when different AEW champions become champion, it sets the dynamic and a tone of AEW. And our champion currently is MJF. And since MJF has been champion, AEW has been in the hot and cold. But what I've noticed is that Orange Cassidy has made the All Atlantic Championship more prestige than the actual champion. Like nobody really kind of cares for the AEW title more than they care than getting the title from Orange Cassidy. You have any thoughts on that?
So the international title seems like it has more prestige, which is your argument, because it's defended more often. There are more challengers than the world title.
I know they changed the title. Y'all know what the fuck I mean. So stop saying that.
Because MJF refuses to wrestle. That's his character of like, I'll be the champion who never wrestles, versus Orange Cassidy is the champion who will always wrestle. But that was the whole point of why they created the IC title back in the day, is that the world champion couldn't wrestle on every show. Or like if they wanted to do 2 shows at once, he couldn't be at 2 shows at once. So, and how are they going to draw more money? Well, there's a secondary title that means just as much. It's the guy who's next up will be the guy who holds this belt.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the AEW champion sets the tone for how the roster goes, because this is the wrestling company. So by having a guy who isn't a wrestler, he's a talker, it kind of downgrades the title a little bit, because he's not defending this title like Kenny Omega was defending this title, because Kenny Omega was defending it on Dynamite and at the pay-per-views while battling vertigo, shoulder injuries, etc. Jon Moxley was defending this title when it was the interim title until he, had to lose it to CM Punk, but he was doing those open challenges regular. So was Hangman Page in between. He would face Lance Archer, Dante Martin, Takeshita. He was taking on all comers and challengers while still having a feud with Danielson and then Adam Cole. Like MJF, his refusal to make,
and Jericho, go to Jericho too.
I'm saying like that's how the company started. Like he Scorpio Sky, Darby Allin, and then he beat Cody, and then he said the whole point was to set up Moxley. CM Punk didn't get the chance to do that because he got injured, which was his karma. And then when he came back to do it again, he got injured, which was his karma. So, so MJF finally getting his shot to be the Triple H, the Jeff Jarrett, the I am the end all be all of this company. I am your champion, and I'll do what I want. Because when you have this title, you get to dictate, which is the Roman Reigns thing now, the Brock Lesnar thing before that, of like the champion gets to show up when he wants, wrestle when he wants, and no one gets to boss him around until finally Tony Khan has the right to override the decision of Sammy Guevara in this match. It's like, well, then make the guy wrestle, like, which that gets into the whole thing, but like it's more prestigious because the matches are better because the guy holding the title has fire matches, and that's Orange Cassidy. It was Pac too when he was the All Atlantic champion at the time when it was called that. He wrestled a trios match and then had to face Trent Beretta right after. Like because like he's like, this is the workhorse title, which is the whole point of like, they said like the whole point of the 80s, Randy Savage was a better champion than Hulk Hogan because you didn't see Hulk Hogan wrestle on TV every week, but you saw Randy Savage wrestle on TV as the IC champ. Bret Hart wrestled as the IC champ. Shawn Michaels wrestled as the IC champ because the Ultimate Warrior was the world champion, and he sucked as a wrestler. So it's locked into its position as the IC title of AEW. So it means more because, like you said earlier, this is the wrestling company. So the fact that like the guy at the top of the card with the most important belt isn't a wrestler, even though he will say I am because you don't. His argument to me would be like, you don't think I'm a wrestler because I'm not killing myself with these spots, blah, 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 and I'm preserving myself, and I blah, blah, like what he's been saying the whole time, like, you know, these people do stupid stunts and shit because that's what you fans want, and then their careers are going to end too early because they did all the shit. It was like, yeah, but at least they entertained me, and they also wanted to do it too, because no one's saying Sammy Guevara has to do a 630 to the outside on a table. He knows he can do it, and he wants to do it, and he knows it's going to get a reaction. You sit backstage and don't wrestle because you're like, I'll get exposed if I wrestle week after week. I won't be entertaining because I'll have the same cut and paste match that I'd have every time I wrestle, which is nut shot, eye poke, punch you in the ring, I cover you 1, 2, 3. And in between that, he does his like, oh, I can chain wrestle, and him do that bullshit. Like, I know I'm classically trained, I just never break it out. Will there be an AEW champion that can bring what Orange Cassidy's brought to the international title? Yeah, when Kenny Omega decides to be champion again, or had they given it to Danielson, or when Adam Cole gets his shot, Jay White, who there are a number of people that can do what the company's supposed to do, and which is wrestle. But for the time being, MJF won his bidding war over Tony Khan of like, I'm not like, you don't want me to leave because I'm such an important draw. Give me the title finally. And it would have been interesting. I think they asked Tony Khan this the other day, or he had said something like, I did think about training MJF babyface, and that still would have been a smart move in my opinion. And being that tweener babyface, maybe he probably wouldn't have defended the titles as much. You never know, because he wouldn't have been so anti what he is now, which is the don't expect me to defend this title week after week like someone like Jon Moxley would and all that. I'm not going to do that. But they know they need a title match every week on TV, and Orange Cassidy is that guy. It'll be whoever takes it from him will do the exact same thing. So
to answer Drizzy, no, it wouldn't make sense to do that because the international championship can be defended outside of AEW, not necessarily in AEW. TNT is only in AEW. So
they almost made it seem like, that title was kind of solely going to be not defended only outside the US, but like everywhere at any time. They were doing that at first, and they kind of stopped when Pac had like a match in Ireland, and then a match in Japan, and then a match elsewhere. Like, they haven't sent Orange Cassidy to go. Like, he would have been good to go to Triple Mania and defend the title.
Well, I think because it was messing up because Pac was having travel issues.
The visa issues, yeah.
And so it was just like, we can't keep doing that if, we just going to have to.
But the point of this title can be something like that, where they, like what what they've been doing with the mega title, which is they bring someone over to defend the title. Like, well, Orange Cassidy just did it at New Japan. He defended it against Gabriel Kidd when New Japan was on the East Coast. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's the point of this title too, is that it's an AEW sanctioned title that can be defended universally, globally, I should say.
What Sean just said, and the main issue is the visas for the talent.
Yeah.
That is another issue as well. So no, you can't unify those titles. That's like saying unify the US title with the Intercontinental title. So no.
But again, the international it'll be simple as this. The international title is a wrestling title and the world title is a story title. And MJF is more focused on the stories than the matches. But again, all the stories have been
Yeah. It's not like he's probably one of the most non-memorable AEW champions so far in the company.
That's not even the extraness. It's just like what you see on TV is like, this isn't good. Time and time again, like
it's just like nobody cares about the championship anymore. Like like the only thing that you've been saying in regards to the AEW championship is let Kenny get it back. Give Kenny back the belt. You've never seen like MJF is such a great AEW champion. No talk about that. Like he ain't even been compared to no champion, nothing. It's just been about give Kenny back the belts. Or Orange Cassidy's been put in the best champion so far of 2023, and he has the international championship. He doesn't even have the AEW title. That's saying a lot.
And that's what gets into like, the other part of being a champion, which like it's the ultimate prize. And again, like boxing and like prize fighting is like I can pick and choose my challengers now because I'm the champion. I don't have to fight on your clock. I dictate who I fight, which is like the Floyd Mayweather thing of like, if I'm the champion, I'm not going to just fight anyone you're trying to say I should fight. I'll fight this guy because I think I can beat him. Like the Orange Cassidy thing is, the ultimate babyface thing. Like, and it works for his character. Like, you want me to face him? All right, okay, sure.
Or he'll just hear shit.
Whatever. Yeah.
Fine.
And he has something. I think he has something to prove. I was gonna say something else, but yeah. MJF has only had probably 5 matches total since winning the title. And that's thing, like I said, Orange Cassidy's had 5 matches in the last 7 weeks for his title. So it's that thing, like, and what's more important, the title that's defended weekly or the title that's defended spread out? In some people's minds, it can be either, which is a Roman Reigns thing.
I got some stats.
What's the stats?
Orange Cassidy won the All-Atlantic Championship, now the International Championship, of course, on October the 12th of 2022. That is 201 days ago, and has had 20 title defenses. MJF won the title, the world title, just a month after, on the 19th of November from Moxley. He's been champion for 163 days and has had 2 title defenses.
Oh yeah, him versus Takeshita was just a title eliminator. He's only faced Starks and Danielson. Yeah.
May you, Statman, may you do not Moxley. Yes, do Moxley for me. What was Moxley when he got it? And the first time, not the second time.
The first time is because that's how they were saving the TV show every week during the pandemic when he could make it because he was trapped in Vegas trying to make it to Florida. Yeah,
let me see the first time.
He probably had 10 or 11, I'll say off the top of my head.
Let me see.
Yeah, back it up. It's time for him. It's time to wrap.
He faced Darby Allin. He faced Brian Cage. He faced before he lost it to Kenny. He faced MJF, obviously. He might face Jake Hager. He faced. Damn, that's just off the top of my head that I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
what a time to be alive.
This is probably going to be one champion in AEW that nobody's going to really be like, well, I mean, did he have a great match with Danielson? Of course, yeah.
But again, like, it's Danielson.
Yeah.
So the onus isn't on him. It's like you face the best wrestler in the company. Of course, you had a great match. You want to you want a cookie? You want a pat on the back for like having a great match with the best wrestler in the world? Like,
And now have your stats.
Huh?
Jon Moxley won his first reign was on February 29th of 2020. Of course, that's when he won it from Jericho. He was champion for 277 days, and he had 9 title defenses.
Close.
Yeah.
It's that 10 or 11, so damn. But this has been MJF's problem the whole time, and you've said it too. Like he wants to be over there because he knows he doesn't fit in this company where wrestling is a priority. But him being the anti-wrestling guy in the wrestling company has always worked for him. But then now when you have to be the champion and defend the belt, you get that extra heel bit of like, I'm never going to defend the title because I don't want to do that because that's not my thing. And
then it doesn't make it no better if he's picking opponents that he's telling Tony who he not losing to and who he wants to fight. So
he's picking opponents for the story. Like the Ricky Starks thing was Tony Khan finally realizing like, I got something in Ricky Starks. It's time to give him a shot. But then what killed him after, and the Jericho feud didn't hurt him, but like he needed to go straight to the TT title instead of face Jericho. To ride that momentum, instead he just rode it into like, I'll get more shine with another person who has high exposure in this company, which is good. And Chris Jericho, and that feud, kept Ricky Starks afloat in terms of like the star power that this guy has. Everyone's seeing it now because he got that big mainstream moment with MJF, and now he'll have the Chris Jericho moments.
But what hurt Ricky Starks is when the demos came out.
The demos always come out and show everyone who isn't a draw. Like they start saying Jay White's demos were bad the first time. It's like, I expect that because people tune out on Dynamite after that first hour. It always happens pretty much. And then it will kind of rise back up at the end, but like that middle section kind of dies out from the what my time is 7:40 to like 8:20. It kind of like it's always up and down. Those first 40 minutes are strong and the last 40 minutes are strong.
The first is always the beginning and the end, but it depends on who's at the end. Like,
yeah,
I knew the demos was going to be down for the FCR and Gun Club match.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I knew that was going to happen.
And that's why they gave that 10 minutes, because like no one wanted to see an actual match. They're just like, hurry up and give these guys the titles.
So, I mean, because Ricky Starks he can be a draw, but when they saw that, they was just like, y'all said this guy was a draw, and he's not.
Well, and you can't just do it was a CM Punk thing. You can't just do CM Punk in 2011 when they were trying to show he was the draw with the post pipe bomb. It's like, it can't just be 3 weeks and you judge based off of this. If you put this,
that's the network.
No, I know that. No, and that's the problem with the network is like,
yeah.
Because and again, like that's why they cancel shows that then go on to have a cult status elsewhere. Because then they get revived because someone's like, well, there was kind of something here. If you just give it more time, let's wait and see.
That's why you have to have people in these networks that are actually wrestling fans, but most of them are not. They just all about the business and the numbers and the income and all of this other stuff. And then when they seen that main event didn't draw what it was supposed to draw, and they like, y'all said this man was the man.
Because yeah, it's not like they don't promote it. I mean, Excalibur promotes that night, the next night, and the night that's going to be a week from now. Like they are constantly promoting who's going to be on what show. So like you can expect what Dynamites might do a high number. When they don't, it's like, well, they promoted the shit out of it. So what's the deal?
And that's why I be like, the champion, the dynamic of the champion reflects the show. Because when Kenny was on this whole I'm taking all the titles run, AEW was on their shit. Like, as far as like the matches, the story, they had a few hiccups, but it was only a few hiccups. It wasn't what we're seeing right now. Everything was hot and cold. Everything was just the main roster, it does reflect the body of the product. And I say that because, you know, we are in the Attitude Era. We're Attitude Era babies. We saw, like, if Stone Cold was hot, the whole thing was fucking hot.
Well, I'm more of Ruthless Aggression, but yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's that thing where, and they only did that because COVID hit, and they're like, "What's going to sustain us through?" That was their ultimate emergency button. We got to give the Young Bucks and Kenny the belts because they weren't trying to do that right away because all of these guys made a company just to make themselves champions. Bullshit. Which, I mean, when someone created the TNT title, who was the first guy to win it?
The people that they swear up and down that they didn't like, and now they his biggest fans.
But that's the thing, like Kenny Omega had and the Young Bucks too, like they wrestled damn near every other week to show like we got to carry these shows. And luckily it was a pandemic, so like they didn't have to worry about attendance and moving from town to town and drawing. Again, WWE again, Roman Reigns benefited just as much from the pandemic in terms of like the heel shit worked because no one was in the crowd to turn on it halfway through. They had the chance to tell it slowly.
Man, Drew McIntyre carried the pandemic for them. Drew McIntyre, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, them three. They did what they had to do during the pandemic in the E.
I mean, again, like you said, like will we look back at this as like the worst time for the AEW World Title?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, last year wasn't that good either with the would I take that over this just in terms of like they made Jon Moxley interim champ and then he beats him in 2 minutes and then he still loses the title 2 weeks later, which like we kind of knew that was going to happen. So why'd you give us this rocky finish as like as CM Punk told us a few weeks ago on Instagram, which was hilarious. But like that was just too convoluted, which is this is like your hands are forced to with all this booking because this guy wouldn't agree to come back until he got what he wanted. And that was more money in the title.
But like
FTR.
I did see Tony is bringing in 2 people for creative. I don't know. They haven't announced who it is or nothing like that, but it is so the rumor is it is 2 so far with the creative to take, because Wednesday they said he got on a jet to go straight to Kansas for the damn draft for the Jaguars. I'm like, that is too much responsibility.
Yeah, that's been the issue the whole time. Which is why the second show, if it happens, like, well, that means you got to get rid of Rampage because that show shouldn't matter anymore.
No, they got rid of Elevation.
I know, but I mean, like, how? So you're gonna have a show in between the 2 shows, so are the rosters going to share that show if you do have split rosters?
They already said that. They're going to share Rampage. Saturday is going to be AEW Collision, and then Wednesday is Dynamite.
By the way, with Collision, that might be how they can put some stock back into the TNT title.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe put that over there and have that be defended over there and have some programs for that.
Yeah. It's just like WCW.
Wrong button.
I feel say that made you mad too.
No, I hit the wrong button when I was trying to do something off screen.
I thought he didn't like my artwork.
No, I was like, damn, that's pretty good actually. When I saw that, I'm like,
the NH, yes. Tony, I hope you're over the Cody-itis because I will have PTSD too. But yeah, so
he got to get Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole. He got to get people in the lead up before. Again, he was the man that brought CM Punk back to wrestling. Like, he still won in a way, but like, he shouldn't be upset over that. Like, he's the man. I mean, granted, that caused a lot of shit to go wrong in his company for a couple months, but still, like, he was the man that gave us CM Punk coming back to wrestling, good, bad, or indifferent.
Drizzy, what type of questions is you asking? Because we just answered all of this shit that you are asking.
I think we gotta get
Drizzy asking questions after you just said it. Drizzy, is you listening or you drunk? Because we just talked about that.
I want some of what he's smoking.
Right, for real. We just answered it. We just had what you think we discussing? Drizzy, we are discussing that right now. Yes, it will benefit because we have to split them. So certain people can get certain time so we can, We just talked about that.
White Noise, me and Cal just did a whole AW draft, and I'm like, one show has one set of titles.
Grizzly over there drunk.
The other has these other titles, and like then you have 2 rosters, and like it kind of looked like how it should be in a way if you want to go over and watch that, but it's going to happen, and they're going to benefit from it because again, people...
So you drinking? It's kids' bedtime. My bad.
Yeah. But I think we got to get to the last few segments of the week before we wrap up, right?
Who would you think all should run creative? I don't know, but it shouldn't be Tony right now. He need a break. Already running the house shows, so you might as well. And Jeff Jarrett's been doing a great job for the house shows in AEW. So if you are a local wrestler, they have been doing a great job getting these local wrestlers in the house shows. So, hey, shout out to Jeff Jarrett running the house shows. He's doing a great job with that. So maybe he'll trust him creatively too. Because Jeff Jarrett already let it be known that he ain't that man over there, and he has nothing to do with some of the stuff that happened in TNA, as he said.
I mean, he let it happen by selling the company to Dixie Carter, who then brought them in, but that he had to sell Terror because he didn't have the money to sustain it.
Damn,
No, that's the truth. He brought her in because she had all this money. Yeah, she had all this money and she wanted to invest it. He's like, that's going to save me a ton of money. And then she's like, what if I bring in Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan? And he's like,
He said, I say no, but I guess.
But she had controlling interest, so it's succession. It doesn't matter what you say. So because I'm doing it.
Right. Okay, Drip. So before we get up out of here, who is your wrestler of the week?
Bandito. No, you would, because so you ask your guest who's the wrestler of the week. They give their answer. Mine was already written before I could give it.
Because I knew you was gonna say him.
Why would you say that?
Because Orange Cassidy is your guy.
Is it because I have an Orange Cassidy action figure?
Yes, you do. I just thought you was gonna say Orange Cassidy.
No, it's Orange Cassidy again. Like the whole conversation.
You full of shit.
I would have picked Bandito.
Nigga.
I would have.
I heard him clicking.
No, I would have probably picked Bandito unless because I'm like, I always pick Orange Cassidy. Let me pick someone else because I'll either always pick Orange Cassidy or Darby Allin. But I'm like, those are my 2 favorite AEW wrestlers because Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly have been injured. Like,
Graham was searching for a.
Alpha show was. I was
put the picture of them with the glasses. Put the picture of them with the. It'll be there. We go. Orange.
What a story.
2 banditos.
Bandito and Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, like mi amigo.
I told
Bandito.
you, I knew you was gonna pick him. That's why I was like, it's gonna be Orange Cassidy.
Well, just because I dressed as Orange Cassidy for your Halloween.
I know you so well. That's what I was like. It's gonna be Orange Cassidy.
You don't know shit.
See, look how he treats me, y'all. He's so mean to me, y'all. He's so mean to me, y'all.
No, I'm not.
Taya Valkyrie. Oh shit! I ain't even get my that was my women business of the week was Taya Valkyrie. My bad.
Yeah.
No, it was Jade Cargill. I'm sorry.
What?
I gave it to Jade.
Y'all was finna have me bit.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was Jade Cargill this week. She did.
Graham's like, why do we do pre-show work?
My bad.
Graham's like,
that was my women business of the week.
Graham's like, this is what working with Vince is like. You tear the script up at the last second.
My bad, child. I'm sorry. But my AEW wrestler of the week goes to Jeff Jarrett.
Oh my god.
Play the song. She said you could cosplay as it. What'd you say? What? He could drip. She said you could cosplay as Orange Cassidy, either one.
I did on last Halloween.
Do it again. They didn't
I'm not
see
doing
it.
it again.
Do it
I can't wear
again.
the-
They didn't see it. They gotta see
Well,
it.
I'm probably not going to be on your show for Halloween this year. I
Yes,
don't
you
know.
are. So yes, Jeff Jarrett is my AEW wrestler of the week because Jeff Jarrett was the better wrestler in the ring. He's 55 years old, and he still got it. I don't care what Drip says about the ageism, but Jeff Jarrett is a great workhorse, and he did great and exposed FTR Ball.
He's an old horse, not a workhorse.
He is a workhorse.
I'm shocked Hearts hasn't shown up with all this Jeff Jarrett. I'm surprised this Jeff Jarrett signal in her house hasn't gone up with all this Jeff Jarrett talk.
She was on here earlier, but she was looking at the draft for me.
Wow.
Thank you, Drizzy. Brings it.
That's the worst theme in wrestling.
No, it's not.
Nightmare fuel.
No, it's not.
Going back to TNA in 2005, when I heard that, I just be like, pain.
Bree-hoo is for the hoes. Bree-hoo is for the bad bitches. Shout out to the Bree-hoo gang. Bad bitches. Oh, I thought you had something to say.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you had something to say. But okay, so the goofy of the week goes to Britt Baker's merch. That shit is ugly. That shit should not be a merch. You don't know if that's trigger warning for certain people. Trigger warning if you see this. I'm sorry. She's showing her black eye that Jericho and Saraya and them did. They wore the shirt to mimic her, but she turned it into a whole merch, and I think it's an awful idea. She spent all Sunday defending why this should be a merch, and then also kind of put other people that's on the roster down with their merch. She put Orange Cassidy merch on there to try to say that merch was ugly, but y'all not saying nothing. I'm like, it's just a picture of Orange Cassidy being Orange Cassidy. Your argument is invalid. It's just a bad shirt. Now, it was people arguing with her like that y'all was gonna buy it. That part was stupid too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the merch is goofy of the week. That shit is it shouldn't be a merch. It's very insensitive and it's a bad idea. I get the whole hypocritical things going on and stuff like that. I get that, but for this particular shirt, it is insensitive. It's bad taste. Nobody's going to walk around with your black eye on a shirt unless it's Outcast. And I get it if it's Outcast because it's part of the storyline. But
yeah,
when they right mind is going to wear a shirt of somebody that because you got to remember, wrestling is not as mainstream as it once was. So nobody's going to walk around with that shit and be like, oh my God, that's that doctor from AEW that got beat up. People gonna be like, why is you walking around here with a woman with a black eye? Then it may be a whole issue. Somebody be like, oh, they promoting domestic violence, or you never know. So some things you need to sit down there and think instead of just doing. Goofy of the week, Britt Baker's merch. I'm not saying her, but I'm saying the merch.
Well, I mean, it's everyone's fault because they've capitalized on her in the past with the blood all over her face. Again, they marketed the fuck out of that, which is what got her over. So it's not surprising that they would want to capitalize again on her black eye and like showing how tough she is. But like you said, to use it as an actual merch item compared to how the Outcast reason, which was a great heel tactic of like mocking the woman they beat up, is good on television, but to use it as a merchandise to promote your company and promote your talent isn't. And sure, there have probably been controversial album covers in music history that have very similar or, are just as like insensitive with stuff like that. And that's why they've caused a lot of controversy. But the whole domestic violence angle, like say, could be sudden and taken out of context for someone who wouldn't know what someone is wearing, and it can send the wrong message. But
it may be triggering to a victim. You never know. Like you can't.
But it's AEW's fault, like I said, for marketing Britt Baker this way, and they've done it numerous times in the past. Like I said, like anytime she bleeds or anything like that, they make sure it's the focal point of her character first and foremost, is that she's the woman who gets her ass whooped in AEW and keeps wrestling and all that, which is I guess, almost her own detriment, as it is like a testament to her success. But like I said, for her to try to like put other people's merchandise down, I guess if you watch All Access, you're seeing maybe Britt Baker isn't the best person, but again, that's reality TV, and is she playing up the role, or is that legitimate? Who knows? But yeah, that's not too surprising for her to be like, well, this person's merchandise isn't, don't waste your money on this. It's not all that put together, where it's like, it's wrestling merchandise. There's only really like 10 shirts a year that are like really good to buy, unless it's your favorite wrestler.
Yeah, you could think it's a joke, but like I said, others outside might not see that way. Like, you have to, when you come up with something like that, let's say if a victim is walking or somebody that has experienced something like that and they see somebody wearing a shirt like that, you don't know what they could do. It could take them back. They might, feel some type of way. You have to think about others around you that has been in, it's some people you never know. So just to walk around and parade it around like that, like a merch, y'all have to think. Y'all have to be sensitive of others. And first of all, it has to make sense, okay? So yeah, Malik, it may have been a joke to you, or you may be one of the ones that can take a joke, but you also have to be sensitive of other people around you. It may be a worker next to her that dealt with something like that, or may took them back. It may be a fan that sees something like that and they probably take them back. You have to be sensitive to certain things around you. It's not so far of being woke or something like that. It's just being a natural human being, or just thinking, common sense. But I forget common sense ain't so common. Okay. Yeah. That's just it's just, it's a stupid shirt. It's ugly. It's not even, that's something I don't want to buy nothing like that anyway.
And this has always been their problem, where they just rush to put out merchandise for whatever. Again, like they sold the Isaiah Cassidy shirt of him moaning and Canadian Magazine. Like, in what context is that a shirt, really?
Right. Like, what?
Which is why the idea, like they've always been a t-shirt company, kind of sticks when they just put out whatever kind of merchandise on a whim, because their audience buys it up, which is why they put shit out. So.
Yeah. And I didn't even see it on the top selling list anyway. So I don't think people going to buy that shirt. They're going to probably take that shirt off. Or they buy her other shirts, but they ain't going to buy that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need an approval team for the merch. I mean, because that merch is not it. That's just not it. So that's my goofy of the week. Not her, but the merch is goofy of the week. I ain't want to say, because I am the women business positivity, and I'm a fuck it we ball person. But Britt Baker, if you're gonna be the captain of the AEW team, you need to lead by example with certain things, and that's no ma'am. I don't, just think of other ladies or gentlemen that you have to think about other people. And me personally, I would think that is beneath you, but at the same time, some people surprise you, amaze you in certain things. So you're giving me kind of Karen vibes, okay? So don't buy that shirt. And if you buy that shirt and you wear it, then I guess you buy that shirt and you wear it. But now we're getting closer to the end. You have any announcements, Drip? Have anything coming up before we get up out of here?
You can always find me Thursday nights, 8:35 Eastern, Black Wrestling on YouTube. White Noise every weekend on the BRP Patreon. Sign up for that. Replays will be on Black Wrestling's YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Davis, aka Drip, even though I don't tweet a lot.
Yeah.
Instagram is Davis:DC. I have been more active on Twitter the last few days. Someone just hasn't seen, apparently. But yeah, thanks for inviting me on the show again. Congrats on 1 year of the show. I was there from the beginning. I'm glad to see it's still going. It's been an honor to be a part of it. and all the guests that I've been on in the past. Amazing guests besides myself. And yeah, I just love seeing the work you do every week.
Well, thank you. That was the nicest thing you have said all day on this show about me.
Wow.
I appreciate it, y'all. But yes, I'm reaching my year. It's usually after the Double or Nothing pay-per-view weekend, because that's when I first did my first episode. But I celebrate things all month because that's how extra I am. So yes, I've reached my year mark, y'all. I'm still here. I'm still doing the shows. Before I get out of here, I do want to say, you know what I'm saying, I am a fan of Graf Sody, and I heard it, so it was sad to see them go. Will is done, officially leaving Fightful, and I was on one of his shows, the dad's show that he has on Fightful. So seeing that, it's still some AEW content out there. So they will have their AEW content. You can still listen to me. You can also listen to Purist and also others AEW content out there. So all is not lost, y'all. We still cheer. Okay, we still cheer. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, on Elite Kicks. So be sure to tune in and make sure you subscribe to Public Enemies. Make sure you hit the ringer. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you purchase merches. My merch is on my handles. It's on my pins, on all my content. So if you want to get a merch, you can purchase the merch. Blue from For Your Wear is going full time with For Your Wear. So y'all can start getting y'all shit on time and stuff like that. Y'all don't have to worry about the other stuff. So he is going full time. So if you thinking about setting up a store and stuff like that, make sure you follow For Your Wear. Make sure you purchase stuff at For Your Wear on my store. I have some dope shit, and I also have some upcoming dope shit too for the ladies. So yeah, all of that good joint, and make sure y'all are rooting for the Lakers. If you in the chat, we rooting for King James?
Get his old ass out of here. It's time for the new generation.
Steph Curry.
Nah, Jason Tatum. We
Curry's
need,
old too.
we need Jason Tatum. We need the youth.
Only thing I want from Jason Tatum is them ruffles.
Yes, so make sure, so make sure y'all follow me, y'all support, keep supporting. I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all love. I appreciate y'all for holding it down for me. Go Team Light Skin. I got some bad news, King Quest. But yeah, what did LeBron do to you, Drip?
I'm just a hateful person. I'm just an asshole. I mean, I just, I hate everyone.
He hates popular things on purpose, y'all.
No, I don't. I'm not one of those people. No.
But you hate on jazz. That's popular. Like, I can't.
That's not. Oh my God.
People change mid thing and they just, You hating on Jazz, you hating on Billy Gunn, you hating on Jeff Jarrett, you hate on old people that's popular.
No, I don't.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
if
you in the chat and you trying to go to the Jericho cruise, I got some bad news because that shit is sold out. I looked online the other day. Everybody.
Oh, you were gonna go?
Yes, I told you I was looking for tickets. That mug was sold out. Jericho cruise for 2024 already gone, y'all.
Damn.
Already. That's my goat though. My goat be selling them boats.
Boats and hoes.
Boats and hoes. Like, yes. The end of it, I'm telling you now, I looked online and it says, sorry, everything has already been signed up, but check out for 2025. Like, they already get ready for 2025 because 2024 is already done sold out. We gotta get him like as soon. Jericho Cruz is going like that now. I knew it was because when I seen the last year pictures, I saw how lit those was. I'm like, oh shit, I need to go now because it's more black people now, so I could go. I could go this time. Future got a cruise. Oh, he do. Future got a cruise.
That probably has to be the most depressing cruise.
I want to go. I love Future.
That
Beast
cruise
Mode
doesn't
3
even.
coming out the summer, y'all. We in the future high summer. Beast
That
Mode 3
cruise
come
doesn't
out.
leave the dock. I guarantee it. They just party on the fucking ship. They don't even leave and get on the ocean.
They remind him of slave ships. That's not funny, Rodney. That is not funny at all. Curtis, what's the future cruise ship called? Because I need to look that up because that sounds lit. It sounds like it's gonna be strippers. It sounds like I gotta go. I gotta go to that. I love the strippers. I gotta go. I love the strippers. I gotta go.
We'll have
You wanna
fun.
go, Drip?
To the future cruise?
Mm-hmm. Bolts and hose, literally.
It's tempting, yeah.
Bolts and hose. Gotta give me some bolts and hose. All right. Get my getaway music. We can get up out of here.
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man. They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody